We're back on the Silver and Blue Huddle. Welcome back, episode 8, baby. The Cowboys Silver and Blue Huddle. Man, what a week! What a great past 2 weeks has been for Cowboy football, man. Like we're on a win streak. I love it. Last week's game kind of was a bias, so I appreciate the NFL for giving the Cowboys 3 bye weeks back to back to back to back. Okay, 3 bye weeks, baby. Okay, like we weren't gonna lose those games, but we back, man. Episode 8. Silver and Blue Huddle, man. So amazing. Richblkman. Like, we back. It's so good to be back, too. Even after the holiday, man. Like, I hope you had, like, a whole lot of food. Hope you spent time with the family and everything like that. Hope you had a great time. But, man, what a
I'm
pass.
hoping that all the viewers that are watching this, I hope they all you had a full belly. You had good times with your family. I hope you had some good food. I hope you didn't get sick. If that y'all drink too much, you have fun with the kids, y'all have kids, you don't have kids. Or you could just do it where Rich did. Rich just went to Vegas and he won a whole bunch of money, you know what I'm
saying? Las Vegas, baby. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so I can't really talk about it, okay?
But we can talk about our Cowboys. That's what we can do.
Absolutely. Like I started the vacation off with a Cowboy victory, okay? The Commanders. The Cowboys 45-10. Like, oh my god, bro. Like, Commanders, like they are trash, man. But before we get to the Commanders and to that game, let's rewind because we didn't have a show the week before. But let's rewind very, very quickly and talk about that Panthers and Cowboys game. It was a blowout. I mean, that was a bye week basically. I mean, it was a tune-up to get some plays right, tune-up to get some people in there to like try to figure out what they can do. But overall, Cowboys dominated the Panthers. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about there, but there it is. I mean, we got their coach fired.
I mean, yeah, I was just about to say that too, Rich. I mean, look, the Panthers, you know, they have a young quarterback. You know, they see Stroud over here doing his thing over with the Texans, and it's not working out over with the Panthers. So, you know, organization had to make they had to make a decision. And when, Micah Parsons was sacking him 3-4 times, he got his stats that he needed. You know, and then the week after they gave him another chance. You know, that's what happens with the Panthers, man. So it looks like they're already looking forward to the draft. And our Cowboys ran right through them, and they ran right to Thanksgiving Day against a division rival.
Right. And you know what? Let me just say something about the Commanders, right? Like, low key, I really believe the Commanders are really, really good. Even though they got rid of some of their defensive players, but offensively, the Commanders are really good. Sam Howell, like that dude is really a good quarterback. Like if they protect him and give him time, like he finds receivers like all over the field. Like looking at some of the stats that he had for the Commanders, like Curtis Samuel, that man went 9 for 100. Dotson 5 for 52. Scary Terry went 4 for 50. And Cole Turner went for like 1 for 29. Like that game, like before halftime, was only 20-10. Like the Cowboys is like barely like beating the Commanders at halftime. Luckily, they got the ball back in the third quarter to start off the half, so that kind of helped them out a little bit. But overall, like the Commanders are kind of like low key, kind of good. They just don't know how to close out games. Like I don't know if that's just a coaching thing or like him and like Ron Rivera and Eric are not on the same page on how to close out a game. But offensively, that team is pretty good. Like I was happy that we beat them by so many points. But overall,
I think the Commanders.
They made some good teams out a little bad.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I think the Commanders, what they need to do to get better is they have to follow what the rest of the division is doing. Like, look what the offensive line for the Eagles look like. Look what the Cowboys have done with their O-line, getting it better, right? So it's like, I feel like when it comes to our division, the NFC East, historically, the teams with the best O-lines and the better D-line, in the trenches positions, have always done really, really good. Just look at it historically. Giants back in the day when they had a good O-line and they had great pass rush, they went far, right? Eagles, great O-line, good D-line, they go far, right? That's just how it is, and I feel like that's how the our division has kind of historically been is whoever has the O-line. Look, Giants have no O-line, no pass rush. They're shitty. Washington Commanders, they trade away their pass rush, and then Jack Del Rio, another quarterback, we got fired. Cowboys are on a firing session. I don't understand. but like Jack Del Rio gets let go too as defensive coordinator as well after the Thanksgiving game. So, the Cowboys are just kind of like dominating in the division. The Eagles are dominating in the division, and it's just a crash course for us to play them, coming up soon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, Thanksgiving game, we all know who the highlight of the game was. I mean, we got to congratulate him, right? We got a big, I mean, this is an
Right.
NFL history making. I'm talking about super cowbell moment of like the game. I mean,
Right.
let's be real. The guy got 10 total tackles, 9 solos, and a pick six that not only did he walk into the end zone, but he did it juking his way
Right.
into the end zone. It wasn't easy.
Right.
He made a historical interception for 6 that put him above everybody else. And congratulations to Deron Bland. Because that
Nice.
man
Congrats to them, man.
deserves
And
it.
he been like one of your cowboy players before on the show. So everybody
Exactly.
should know exactly who he is. That man is a bad man. Okay, Deron Bland.
Now, what do
He's
you
a bad
think? Like
man.
when you say like, when it comes to Deron Bland, right? Now,
Mhm.
of course, he had to step up into a place. Diggs gets hurt. He steps up. He was playing the slot. Now,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, Cowboy Nation, you guys know when Bland did play last year, he did play
Yeah.
the nickel, he was playing the slot right now, but he still made plays. That's what people tend to forget. Only Cowboy
Right.
Nation guys know. We understand that he got some interceptions last year. He didn't even play like a full, he didn't get to play as much as he did now that Diggs is out.
Right.
And for him to go to the outside corner, yes, he didn't do too well in the Cardinals game. I feel like he was getting his feet wet. He was getting
Mhm.
used to that angle. But that man turned it around real quick in one game.
Right. Yeah.
And
It, it should be no surprise about who Deron Bland is because, like you said, last year he was making plays coming out of the slot. So he was making plays last year. So to make these same plays that he's doing right now, like it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that he is now my favorite to be defensive player of the year. Like it's close. It's like Vince Carter. It's a wrap. Okay. Deron Bland definitely is going to win defensive player of the year. And if you don't think he should win, then you just a hater and you probably just don't watch football. So yeah.
hey, listen, we might have two. We might have like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna feel myself right now.
Mm,
I understand everybody's like, "Oh, Mike, you guys didn't really win against nobody." That I don't care what you say. You got to play the schedule. You still
right.
got to play your team. We got the Seahawks next week. We got a couple games still going. We still are in prime football season, baby.
Right.
We're about to head into December football. Do you understand what December football is historically? I don't think you understand. It's
Right.
not just Cowboy December. It is NFL December football. You have cold games. You're going to have rainy, sleet games. You're going to have everything this month. You're going to have teams that say either we're going to wrap it up and get ready for the draft, or you're going to have teams ramped up, getting ready to fight for a playoff position. I love December football, and I can't
Right.
wait.
Yeah, I like it too. Like it's like you get all kind of like conditions that teams got to play in. I noticed like in Philly, it's been like the last 2 games that they had, it's been kind of rainy or whatever. So that lets me believe that they're gonna have some snow games coming up very very soon. Like luckily the Cowboys don't have to go up there and play in that, but they're gonna have some snow games coming up very soon. So that's gonna be very interesting to see. With the Eagles, not just with the Eagles, but the overall all the teams and how they face their December matchups and what the weather's going to be like because December makes or breaks teams. Like either, like you said, you're getting ready for the playoffs, or you getting ready for the draft, or you just like we hoping to play spoiler for somebody, but that's about it. That's all they can really do come December. But December is very important. It's very important for the Cowboys. Like normally December is kind of rough for us, if I can remember correctly. Even dating back to like the Tony Romo times, like December could be kind of rough for the Cowboys, but hopefully that is not the case. But like looking over the last couple of weeks, I'm just so excited when I think about the Cowboys because we're actually beating teams that we should beat. Like
Yes.
in years past, that was always a problem with the Cowboys. Like they can hang with the great teams and maybe like get a victory off one of them, but every time they played a bad team or somebody beneath their comp, they always play down and then they end up losing, bro. So to play the Panthers, to play the Giants, to play the Commanders, games that the Cowboys should win, they did win. So as a fan, I'm happy to finally see that because if you've been a fan as long as I have, you've seen us losing to terrible teams, bro. Even when we had great seasons or great performances, we would lose to the bottom of the barrel of the league. So I think that's the biggest difference maker right now, and I'm excited to see that we're beating teams that we should be beating. Okay, we destroying
100%.
them.
And get back to the division, right? So it looked like our division is being real two team top heavy, right? We're like Eagles and Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of Eagles and Cowboys, we have something in common, Rich.
What's that?
There is a player out there that has just visited us today and plans to visit another team in our division, Eagles, and his name is Shaq Leonard.
Right.
The linebacker from the Colts. Now, I got a little background about this player because my brother is a Colts fan. So I have been following this player for a while. Now, they used to call him AKA the Maniac. All right. He's always be scramble. Where's the ball? Stripping the ball. But the thing that gets me scared is two things. One, he did have some surgeries and he was out for a while with the Colts and then he came back. Right. And two, this season, I watched him because I do watch the Colts games a lot because my brother comes over on football Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
To me, he doesn't look like the same Shaq Leonard that he's shown in the past, being that maniac. Now, my question to you, Rich, is the visit from Shaq Leonard a good thing for the Cowboys or a bad thing because of our linebacker situation?
I would say it's probably a good thing, but it is kind of concerning to what you just said, where now he's probably not the same person that he was before. And the last thing the Cowboys need is another injured damn linebacker. So if he's not that person, let him go on to Philly. But if he's that same person that can come out and dominate and be okay, he needs to sign with the Cowboys. And let me just say, you goddamn Eagles, you motherfuckers ain't got no money. So don't be trying to sign all these players, man. Like, y'all counting.
I would love to know where they have all this cap space at. Like, please tell me.
Like, y'all over there cooking the damn books, man. And I gotta say it like with extreme wording and like cussing because y'all broke as shit. So don't be trying to sign people, okay? Like the NFL, Roger Goodell need to go over there and like check y'all books because y'all cooking them motherfuckers, okay? Y'all affording Julio, affording all these, man. Y'all ain't got no damn money, man. Like, I don't know how y'all get all these damn players, bro. Like, we're going to find out in a couple years that the Eagles is breaking rules.
The only thing I would like Leonard for would be it's for run support because we are going to get into December. We're going to get the playoff football, and a lot of teams are going to try to pound the rock because they see Marquise Bell there. Shout out to Marquise Bell. He's been doing great, but of course he's not the bigger. He's like a safety converted into a linebacker, right?
Right.
So he's not the big, thick, linebacker to like plug up a hole and beat a block, right?
Right. I mean, like looking at the defense and the performances that we've had the last couple of games, the middle linebacker position covered by Marquise Bell, it seems like he got a hold on that. Like, do you think
doing
we
pretty
need
good? I just feel I'm waiting for like the heavier team, like when the Eagles and the Niners come back.
Okay.
Like, can he take on those double team blocks when the guard is pulling towards him? And
right. Okay.
That's the thing that gets me worried.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if Leonard is
it's
good,
just more of a size thing. It's not an effort thing because I see that he's tackling, he's making tackles, and he's there, and he can cover because he has a safety background. He can actually cover these these running backs out the backfield, and we've seen him in coverage, so that's good on third downs, right? But like on first and second down, when these guys are coming downhill on like a power or a guard is pulling, that's the part that gets me nervous. So. Shout out to Marquise Bell, but I mean, if Shaq Leonard can come over or we can acquire any type of linebacker that's for run support, which Evans, the guy Rashad Evans, that's really what he is. He's run support. That's what I hope for. We don't need Shaq Leonard to come over and cover cover tight ends. We don't need him covering the running back out the backfield. We don't need that because there's no way he's going to cover CMC when we see the Niners, 100%.
Right.
So that I'm not worried. That I'm not concerned about. I think if you come to the Cowboys, which I think Dan Quinn will love to bring you over, I think he'll put you in play. He'll put you in position to where you can at least make a play, first down, second downs, and then take your ass out. And sit on the sideline on third down. So that's my opinion on Shaq.
Yeah, I won't be too surprised if the Cowboys are able to obtain him because we do have a spot open on the team for that, and I think he'll be able to start right away, which I think that's what he kind of wants to do. Like shame on those people that selling their souls to go play for the Eagles in hopes for a championship. Like, shame, shame, shame on y'all, bro. Like, y'all play half the
Yeah.
season. Like, how could you call yourself a Super Bowl champion when you playing like half the season, or just like you just got signed Julio Jones? Like, bro, you're a bum.
100%. Yep.
Selling your soul for the Eagles. Like, come on, man. You just trying to stay relevant, huh? Need a little extra money, I guess. But
Yep. And then and shout outs, and we haven't been giving Dak credit lately, but shout outs to Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show. Yes, we're gonna plug another podcast. Well, it's not even a podcast anymore. They're like a super show now on ESPN. Right. The future of us, hopefully. But he was on the Pat McAfee show. He's best friends with with Pat McAfee over there. He's always on the show, and he shot out Dak Prescott, that he says that's one of his favorite quarterbacks to watch. So getting an approval from an all-pro, Super Bowl winning quarterback, how do you feel about that? Do you feel better as a Cowboy fan now? We're getting co-signed by a legend.
If Aaron Rodgers can like Dak Prescott, why don't you like Aaron Rodgers? I mean, if Aaron Rodgers can like Dak, why don't you like Dak? I mean, come on. Aaron Rodgers is like one of the most brilliant quarterback minds out there. So if he's giving props to Dak, then why aren't you like? Even Dak had like another 4 touchdown game, no interceptions. Like, nothing was tipped, nothing was thrown into double coverage. Actually, Dak was like throwing some dots out there, man. Especially when he was throwing to the tight end, bro. Like, I don't know if you've seen those plays, but those were some dots, like up the middle of the field to the tight end. Those are dots, but I like it.
I mean, right now, he's number 2. He has his QBR right now, his 2023 regular season stats.
Right.
I'll say it real quick. This is what it is right now. It's 2,935 yards passing. He has 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 75.3 QBR right now. Yeah. And that's like on the actual season. Now, what I think is kind of cool with that is that, he has 6 interceptions. Now, back in the day, I know people used to be like, oh, well, the year before, 2022, he had 15 interceptions, and then you got 10 interceptions. I'll be honest, like, if I look at his whole career, 1, 2, 3, 4, out of how many years? What? 9 years being in 9 years being in the league, right?
Right.
He's hit double-digit interceptions only about maybe 4 times. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. That was 13 interceptions, 11 interceptions, 10 interceptions, and 15 interceptions. And that's 4 times. All the other years was 4, 8, 4, and 6, which is right now.
And
I mean, statistically, Dak is in the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, right? But it's just situationally, it looks bad when he makes mistakes. I get it. It's like a Tony Romo situation. Tony Romo had great stats, clutch moments, fourth quarter drives. But are we here talking about that? Is Dak better than Romo or Romo better than Dak? You know what I mean? Like, that's a Cowboy Nation argument.
Right. And it's funny, though, because the interception conversation has changed so much this year compared to what it was last year. When America's team, Dak Prescott, was out there leading the league in interceptions, it was talked about every single week. But now, leading the interceptions this year, it's the same person that led the league in turnovers like the last 2 years, Mr. Josh Allen. Josh Allen got 13 interceptions, bro. Sam Harrell got 13, Matt Jones 12, Jalen Hurts got 10. Nobody's talking about that. But when Dak Prescott had 10, it was a talk of SportsCenter. It was a talk of every freaking news article that Dak Prescott is a turnover machine.
Dak shouldn't be the quarterback, blah, blah, blah.
But all of a sudden now, interceptions is not even like really talked about. Dak is number 2 in touchdowns at 23. I mean, if you look at the stats across the board, Dak Prescott is leading or in the top 5 of every single category. But nobody really wants to give him credit. So shout out to Aaron Rodgers for giving Dak Prescott credit. And if Aaron Rodgers loved Dak Prescott, why don't you love Dak Prescott too? Because the man is putting up numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And Dak Prescott is putting up numbers this season. And he is probably going to win MVP. I said it. Dak Prescott for MVP. I mean, come on.
But again, look. Everybody's watching us. We're Cowboy Nation. We're gonna rep our team. We're gonna rep our stars till we die. All right, and it is our freaking year. Every year is our year. I don't care what
Every
anybody
year's
says.
our year. I mean, I was in Vegas.
Every year's our year.
I'm already like
Okay?
making plans to go back because the Cowboys are going to be playing the Super Bowl in Vegas. Okay, Vegas.
So
I'm going
I'm
back to
just
Vegas to
saying.
watch my Cowboys win another Super Bowl. It's already in the books. I'm talking that into existence.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's just it's just insane. I mean, look, we got the Seahawks up next, right, Rich? We have to worry about, now this is another NFC test, right?
Right.
Geno's playing well. You got DK Metcalf over there we have to worry about,
Do we
Mr.
though?
Bench Press.
Do we? Because let me bring up a stat. I don't think
Okay.
there's been a receiver the entire year that has gone over 100 yards on the Cowboys at all. If you look
We'll
at
have to
every
double-check
game,
that.
if you look at every game, they have not like gave up a 100-yard receiving day to any freaking receiver. AJ Brown locked up. He had like 70 or something like that. Some of these other stellar receivers, bro, like they didn't have anything.
Honestly, I don't
Even
think it's our
Debo.
defense. Our defense is not the issue. I don't think so. I think like any other NFL team, a team can score on anybody. Like any NFL team can score on anybody, right? Like let's keep it real. Everybody out there is amazing. They're all athletes. Everybody can score on everybody, right? But
Right.
I don't think it's our defense that loses us games. It hasn't been. It's literally been mistakes on offense. It's ball positioning. It's turning the ball
penalties.
over.
Yeah, penalties.
Penalties. Like it's field position to where like, we're turning the ball over and next thing you know, they're in our red zone in one play. So a lot of times it's really not our defense that's letting things up. It's our offense not putting ourselves in good position, which then makes our defense have to be overworked, just like any other NFL team.
Right.
So, with the Cowboys would be fine. I think I'm being realistic when I say this. I'm enjoying the season. I'm enjoying every freaking game. Again, we got December football coming up, going into January. I'm enjoying every game. Do not speed up the NFL season. I'm enjoying every game. But when the playoffs come, the NFC is going to be, I don't care what AFC is better than NFC. I don't care. The NFC is going to beat each other up in those brackets.
Yeah.
And whoever comes out the NFC for the Super Bowl is probably going to win the Super Bowl, I think.
Right. The first round matchup is going to be a great one. Like that 4 and 5 position. Like
exactly.
It's either going to be us, Eagles, or 49ers in that spot. So right off jump, a top contender is going to be out of the playoffs in the first round.
100%. And the thing is, if the Eagles mess up once and we win out and we beat the Eagles and they mess up once after we beat them, we steal that number one seed. That's huge.
Right.
That's huge if we can steal that.
Wait a minute. So if the playoffs started today, Cowboys would be number 5.
Yeah, we're going against. Well, we're number 5 going against the Saints.
Going against
or the Falcons.
No, the Falcons. Yeah, going against the number. Oh shit, I like that matchup.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a dub. That's a dub. That's a dub.
Put me against Mariota.
Yeah, that's a dub right there. Ain't no way we losing to the goddamn Falcons. That's a dub.
But that's what I'm saying. Like those brackets, like people are looking at them now. Those brackets are going to change dramatically by the time January 2nd, January 3rd comes. Dramatically. Right. The AFC, did you see how the AFC brackets changed over the weekend? Bro, it went from Jacksonville won. Jacksonville was number 1 seed. Then the Chiefs were number 1 seed. And then the Ravens won their night game. And then the Ravens jumped back up.
Right. Like
the AFC is crazy.
Looking at the matchups right now, like the NFC, Eagles would be number 1, San Fran number 2, Lions number 3, Falcons 4, Cowboys 5, Seattle 6, and the Vikings number 7. Is it top 8 or top 7? Is it top 7? 8? Top 7, so the Vikings. Yeah. So realistically, I mean, I like that 4-5 matchup with the Falcons right now. At the first round,
right?
It would be on the road. If things stay the way they are, I think that could probably be like our first round matchup because number 4 is pretty much going to be the bottom seeded team. Like
no, it's 8. It's 8. I just thought about that because you said wild card, right? Yeah, because I remember they added. Okay, it's 3 wild card teams. Yeah.
Okay, so
forgot about
the number
that.
4 spot is going to be a team that's under 500. Like right now, it's the Falcons. They're 5 and 6. So
that's because that division is so bad.
And that's cool though, but that might be a good first round matchup for the Cowboys though. It's a lot
Yeah.
better than. So I think we're gonna probably avoid San Fran and probably Philly because
Yeah.
San Fran is 8-3, Detroit is 8-3, so they're gonna stay in the top two, like second and third seeding, pretty much.
Oh no, wait, hold on. I just confirmed it again. I'm sorry. It is 7, yes.
Okay,
NFC East seedings is 1 through 7. Yeah, it's not 8. I keep thinking about like the way the divisions are matched up. Yeah, it's
okay,
7 because there's 4 divisions and then the 3 teams, 3 wildcard teams. Yeah.
yeah. So that NFC South is going to be the number 4 seed because all their records are bad. So if we
Yeah,
don't
I'm looking at
overtake
it
the
now.
Eagles,
Wow.
yeah, if we don't overtake the Eagles, then we be playing the Falcons, baby. That's a first round
And
dub.
and the Seahawks, they're at like 20% of making the playoffs, so they're gonna come into our game very hungry.
Yeah, yep. So I think we still gonna have that number 5 seed locked up because we're 8-3 and the Seahawks are 6-5. So if we beat them, then that's pretty much going to confirm that we're gonna be in the 5th seed unless we overtake the Eagles.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm just looking at all
not
these
bad.
scenarios, and it's insane. It really is insane.
All right, so that's the playoff matchups. If the playoffs started today, I'll just go over that right quick. AFC, the Ravens have a first round bye, so it'll be the Chiefs and the Colts, Jaguars and the Browns, and the Miami Dolphins versus Steelers. NFC would be Eagles with a first round bye. San Fran would play the Vikings. Detroit would play Seattle. And the Falcons will play the Cowboys. I mean, that 5th spot might not be such a bad thing now that I look at the standings and the way they're shaping out because number 2 and number 3 are not going to fall to number 4.
Yep.
So the Cowboys could get. They
think about
can't.
it.
They can either get number 1 or 5.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys might strategically, from an organization perspective. Let's be real. Let's talk about strategy, right?
Right.
It's like, if we win the next 2 games, if we win the Seahawks, right? And then we got to play Eagles. If we beat the Eagles, that's going to give us an incentive to want to win out because we're going to try to possibly get that number 1 seed. The minute that we can't get number 1 seed, I think we might shut it down. And I think we might just sit at that fifth spot because whoever has the 5th spot is going against that very weak division.
Yeah, the NFC South.
The NFC South.
It's either going to be the Bucs or the Falcons. Right.
Exactly.
That might be. Yeah, I can see that. Now that I look at the standings, if we can't get the Eagles the number 1 spot, then number 5 is probably still the best spot because we're going to be going against that NFC South. Because
any way to avoid. I mean, I really don't want to play. I'd rather play the Eagles than the Niners. Right. I'd rather somebody knock the Niners off so I don't have to play them again. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, from a matchup perspective,
it's either going to be a 1 seed taking over the Eagles or the 5th spot. I don't see any other way unless we happen to fall down. But we got like a 2-game lead, like over Seattle right now. So all right, we'll keep an eye on that. I mean,
we're on playoff watch.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. That's
because
interesting.
We don't make the playoffs. It's just where and how.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. The first 4 seeds go to division people.
Yep.
So if we don't take the division, then that we can't move no higher than 5. I mean, we can move down, but 5 is probably the prime spot because you want to play the NFC South. So,
man, if we get any home games in Jerry's world,
right. So we will only be hoping that San Fran or something get knocked out in their first round game. So, yeah,
I'll tell you right now, if San Fran gets knocked out and we don't got to play them, I might bet the the mortgage payment on the. I'm telling you,
not the mortgage payment, the 401k. Okay,
you know what I mean. He said that the 401k.
Hey, they asked me how they were saying like how you gonna get back to Vegas if the Cowboys play. You know the game's gonna be very expensive. I'm thinking 401k withdrawal, baby. That's what I'm thinking.
You better have that Roth.
Yeah, that 401k withdrawal. I have an emergency. Okay, I need to take out my money.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, do you want a loan or do you want to withdraw penalties?
Yeah, I got to see this because you think about it, this might be the last time you see the Cowboys probably win a Super Bowl in their lifetime. So, hey, we'll see. I hope we see many more, but this.
But yeah, I mean, my prediction is for the Seahawks game is, again, look, tough. It's gonna be a tough matchup. Thursday night football. Usually these Thursday night games are they could be trap games. It's tough. You don't have that much time to really like scout, but it's a full week technically for the Cowboys because we played on Thursday.
Right.
So
Seahawks on the losing streak. It looks like they lost to San Fran and then they lost to the Rams. They barely beat the Redskins. So I mean,
the Cowboys, we technically have an advantage scouting wise because we played last Thursday, so we had a full week.
Right. I think that going into that game, I mean, I hate that it's a Thursday night game, but we, like you said, we did have a full week, so it's not like we coming off a Sunday, didn't happen to play on a Thursday.
Yep.
Now it's been a full week, so the body's probably recovered a lot easier and quicker compared to just like a 3-day turnaround game after you play on like a Sunday. So the Cowboys should come out and play very, very well. They should win this game fairly easy. I
think it's gonna be a lot tighter.
Yeah,
just because it's Thursday night football.
Yeah, Thursday night football definitely is like a snooze face, but it's the freaking Seahawks, man. So they're not having the season that they probably thought they would have. I mean, they're still 6-5, the second in the NFC West. But looking at who they lost to or who they've been barely beating, like I can see us like definitely dominating them. Like Geno Smith is good. I mean, they got DK, obviously. They got the little rookie Jackson Smith as well from Ohio State. He's been playing well. I just think they are a team that we just gotta like come out and just put points on. Like we can't like let them hang around and make like a last second drive or something like that.
I'm looking at the NFL odds, and they have Dallas as the favorite at a 9-point favorite in the last updated odds, and they're going for the over under total points scored is going to be 46.
Okay.
So for the gambling fans out there, the over under as of right now is 46 points with a 9-point spread favorite of the Cowboys. Honestly, if I'm a betting man and I know how my Cowboys are, 9-point spread, I want to, like my Cowboy heart says to go with the over on that.
Right.
But I think Thursday night football, I think it's going to be a lot closer. I would go with the under on that. I think the Cowboys win under 9 points.
Right, and it's possible. Looking at the team stats for the Seattle as well, man, they're at number 17th in passing yards, 26 in rushing, which is kind of surprising because they got Kenneth Walker, who's actually a pretty decent running back. I mean, he has 613 yards.
They're gonna try rushing. To run against us.
Yeah, he's gonna try to run.
100%.
Yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting game. I mean, I think we're definitely gonna contain Geno. We could maybe get him to make a few mistakes, and like as long as we control
if we get Geno
game,
to 3rd and longs, to 3rd and 15s, 3rd and 12s, and stuff like that, 3rd and 10s, right, our boys are gonna eat on the D line straight up. Like,
right,
they're gonna eat. This is the run game. If they establish a run game, I'll be a little nervous as a fan.
Yeah. So on that, it's going to be like fairly kind of scary in the first quarter or second quarter because Seattle's definitely gonna come out and try to run the ball.
They're not gonna try to swing the rock.
Yeah, they may have some early success, so it may be kind of hard to watch in the very beginning. But once the Cowboys tighten up, come out in the second half, tighten up that run defense, then it's a ball game. But I think that's the key to a lot of the Cowboys' defensive schemes is to get teams in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. Then that pass rush just comes crazy. So.
Yeah, Dan Quinn knows how to dial it up, man. I mean, shout out to Dan Quinn, bro. He knows how to dial it up. I mean, straight up.
100% agree. So it's going to be a great game, man. Like, the Cowboys season's going great so far. We are beating teams we should. We are, like, in games that we should be in. And, yeah, we let a few games, like, get by that we probably should have won. Cardinals, definitely. Eagles, definitely. So, I mean, bro, critical games.
Cardinals game.
Critical games.
That Cardinals game was tough, man. But
it was.
I mean, we're doing good.
I like it. I like the progress. So I like that we talked about the playoffs. So we definitely going to add that into the conversation over the next couple of weeks because the Cowboys, they might want to like stay where they are, like just maintain a little bit, especially if you can't like get that number one. You don't want to risk injuries and stuff like that trying to chase a seed when the number one, when the 5th seed definitely looks kind of juicy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Let me look at that NFC South division right quick.
It's not that good. Bad. I mean, listen, the Saints were just winning it, and the Falcons just took it over this week. It's a hard. I mean, everybody's like 500 or below.
Okay, so
everybody's 500 or below down there.
Oh, so yeah, the Falcons are 5-6, the Saints are 5-6, the Buccaneers are 4-7, the Panthers are 1-10. I'm actually kind of surprised about the Buccaneers because I feel like they have a good team, a good enough team to be in the playoffs. Baker Mayfield is not that bad of a quarterback.
Yep.
So I'm kind of surprised that they are where they are, but they probably got like a lot of chemistry issues, but it's not too far off other than Tom Brady not being there. I mean, they still could
Yeah.
win. But hey, I like that number 5 spot. That's at least a first
I'm cool with
round.
it. Hey, the Colts beat the Buccaneers, so as long as I'm not worried about the Bucks.
Yeah, not worried about the Bucks. The Saints, they can maybe get kind of lucky, but we can beat them in the Falcons. Please, please, baby, let the Falcons stand on number 5 spot. I
Yeah, the
mean,
only
4
team that
spot.
gets me really nervous in that division is the Saints because the Saints got defense. That's it.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's how we played them. Dan Quinn was the coach because Mike McCarthy was out sick or whatever. So we can beat them. We just got to play Cowboy football, man. Like, don't let them hang around. Don't let them hang around. But I don't want to.
Exactly.
I don't want to play the Saints. I think they get too lucky.
Well, I
So,
am I am excited about this Thursday game,
yep.
and I'm gonna take my last sip.
And it's only 2 days away. Like I came back and
Yep.
it's already a Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I can't wait to watch out the Cowboys on Thursday night, man. Like we probably have to like try to figure something out for that. But all
Hmm.
right. Well, let's close it up. Let's wrap it up, man. Silver and Blue Huddle, episode number 8. So amazing. Richblkman, Cowboy Nation. It's our year. We looking good. We're going to the Super
Yes.
Bowl. I already peeped out the stadium. I already peeped out like where I'm going to sit to watch my Cowboys play in the Super Bowl in Vegas, and I'm pretty excited about that. Like, I'm there. I'm there. Like, it's good to see the sneak peek of the stadium, so I know where to sit.
Let's go, Cowboy Nation.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap up, right quick?
Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's beat them sea chickens, whatever they want to call them.
Exactly.
We're
Sea
good.
bass, or whatever you want to call them. Remember, Silver and Blue Huddle is available on all streaming platforms. Wherever you watch your podcast, definitely check us out there. Spotify, Google, Apple. Definitely follow the YouTube channel as well. So, Silver and Blue episode number 8. We rocking the consistency, man. Let's go. We love it. We'll be back next week, next Tuesday, maybe a little bit sooner since the game is on Thursday. We can probably maybe knock out a episode sooner
That's
than
true.
Tuesday, maybe the weekend or something like that. But all right, guys, we out of here, man. Peace out. See you guys next week, and go Cowboys over Seattle.